and like, I think the reason why Mike wanted us in here is because we kind of cover all types of genres. Like we'll play any type of music, and that's how.
I'm gonna bring the lights up.
Bring them up.
Yeah, I'm bringing them up. All right, you can see us now.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what we do. We just, when we first started, that's for sure what we were doing. And at the time before, like, I was in a band called Viper Viper, and I was just doing like weird, like dance rock, punk rock stuff. And he was DJing, and I used to DJ before. I used to play like hip hop and drum and bass and stuff. And that whole scene was kind of, I don't know. That scene at the time was just kind of bogus. Like they wouldn't let anyone like Josh and I play at it, and it was like. There was a lot of haters going on. I know
Chris a little jaded. What happened was someone like took some money from him from like a rave that was going on, and he was like, "No, I'm out the game, son."
Yeah, so I quit DJing.
And I was like, "Yo, Kurt, hey, what's up, man? You want to try and like DJ a little bit? You want to try and make some money, baby?" And he was like, "All right." And then we basically just went on to do some like parties. All it was is a friend of ours that I was living with at the time was like, "Hey, this is my friend Kurt. He's doing kind of a similar style of DJing that you are. You were DJing at Gym Bucks at the time, and I was doing like a little thing called Life During Wartime. I don't know if you heard of it, but it's like a little, like it was like a small party at the Hideout, which is like a really tiny little venue. And we were both kind of just playing whatever, just anything that like made people dance. Like we noticed when we were playing out, because both of us started off like scratching and doing like really like hip hop heavy DJing, and we noticed that when we were playing like at any party or if some other DJ was partying, they start cutting, and it was cool for about a minute, and then once it started going too long, like people that are just drunk and there to have fun, it's not that it's bad, they just can't comprehend exactly what technically is happening. So we were like, yo, like I personally was like, yo, I want to like sort of rock parties more, so I started getting into a little bit just playing stuff that I liked, what was around, like, which is basically like crunk, top 40, like, and then like rock and like any kind of dance music and any kind of house music, whatever made the people get into it. He was doing something very similar, and a friend put us in touch with each other. And so we started started kind of practicing, like, not even routines, just like, we set up 4 turntables at my house, and we just fuck around basically for a couple hours, and like, we made some tapes of it, and we're just like listening to it. We're like, oh, this is kind of dope, this is kind of like a cool concept. And his girlfriend at the time worked at a bar called the Town Hall Pub, which was, it is on Halstead in Boys Town. Not a very like happening area for like our kind of world. There's something else that goes down there, but definitely not for us. And so we were like, oh cool. Like she was like, I can give you a Wednesday night, like see what you can do with it. And so we took it, and you know, the first one we did was like maybe like 20 kids. They were all our friends, like all personal friends, and like they came out. But it was really fun. And so the next month when we did it, there was like 40 kids there, and then, you know, the next month after that, there was like 140 kids there. And then the month after that, it kept going, kept going, kept going. And so that was like the foundation basically for us to like make any kind of noise or break out anything. Anything in Chicago, from Cool Kids to Kid Sister to us to Hollywood Holt to any of the people that are kind of in our world, got their start at this little club. And well, not even club, it's a little venue. It holds maybe like 70 people. And it all happened just on such a very small, like ground up level. And like there had been, you know, movements in Chicago, i.e. house music, and like there's definitely certain like hip hop acts from here that have made some noise. But I feel like since house, there hadn't really been a true Chicago movement that everyone was from there and they were all on the same page and everyone was kind of doing the same thing together. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but people refer to Chicago as Haterville sometimes. And, you know, it's a little bit competitive. Like if you're in New York or if you're in LA, I can name like 40 bands in LA who are all like millionaires, or in New York who are all like doing well. But in Chicago, it's like one person gets it, and takes off, and then they move to New York or LA. And it leaves everyone kind of like, oh man, like whatever, why don't we get to like go with? So Kurt and I, we took a different attitude, and we're kind of like, yo, if we're gonna get any kind of fame, let's diversify it and like put on all these really talented people that we know and that we work with, and see if we can actually make it more of a movement, like the Southern rap thing that happened and has been kind of dominating for the last couple of years. That was like our kind of like model. We based around that. We were just like, yo, let's see if we can really make this thing last. And so far it's done really well, you know. I strength in numbers. But yeah, that was really it.